All right, guys, what is going on? What's up? Welcome to today's live. All right, I did a live last week, and then I wanted to kind of just. I was thinking, I was like, okay, all right, let me put out some more content as far as going live and see what kind of value I can bring and something new, something different, right? And I was thinking, okay, let me see what kind of topic I can think of, and then someone messaged me on Instagram, okay, and it was Rock Atomic Labs, okay, and they were talking about print on demand supplements, right? And I was like, this is interesting because I think going into 2023, new opportunities, different ways to make money, different ideas. There's so much that can be done. And this is the time of the year where I feel like most businesses are doing really well. Okay. And then there's people obviously that are struggling. Okay. But some people are just don't like the direction their business is going and they want to like, okay, maybe this is not for me. I want to try something else. So this is why we have Ben here. What's up, Ben?
What's up, RJ?
What's
Yeah,
up, man?
we're super excited to kind of share what we've done, why we've created what we've created, and how we're helping thousands of entrepreneurs take advantage of a system to streamline their success.
Yeah.
And ultimately, that's what we created when we got into the supplement space. We realized quickly how much the I want to say algorithm, but it's not algorithm. The metaphor I want to use is it's like beating your head against a wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like starting your own supplement line feels a lot like that. And
Yeah.
As we started to do that and started to go through the different processes and realizing just how much capital was going to be required and how much risk there was when you're having to prepay a supplier for all these products before you've even like validated your offer or know if your customers are going to be purchasing on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm.
Just so much risk on the front end of starting an e-commerce business if you're trying to do it with your own private label, right?
Yeah.
Your own brand. And so what we did was just said, hey, here's all the hurdles and headaches that we found. What are the solutions to each one of those? And as we went through and created and kind of answered that problem, Rocktomic originally, we founded 12 years ago. We had like 7 main clients for the first 9 years.
Okay.
That's it. We were just serving 7 clients. We're moving good volume. We're making good money. That I got involved in the business year 9 of the 12 years. And that's when this came across my desk, and we sat down and went over like, wow, y'all don't realize what you have here.
Mm-hmm.
This is great if you like expand it out and ungate the access a little bit better.
Yeah.
So that's what we've been on a mission to do. We've gone from 7 customers to over 8,000 now in the last 3 years, which is kind of when we relaunched or rebranded. But we've been around 12 years now. 2.1 million units moved, over 100 million in sales for our customers. So yeah, it's been a great ride for sure. But excited to kind of get into the nuts and bolts and show you how we did that.
That's even like just to even think about something like that because I seen some numbers on the back end. Aaron showed some stuff with me, and I was like, God damn, okay. I was like, I see what you guys are pushing. I was like, these are the numbers that you guys are pushing, and I was like, okay, there's an opportunity because I'm just like, this would be a good, like for my audience personally, or just people that are following me to learn something new and something different. Okay.
For sure.
One of the things too, and I wanted to touch on this because I had a few people when I posted it into my Facebook group, and they're just like, "Oh no, I'm not touching that. That seems a little actual like nutritional supplements, stuff like that. It seems a little risky because of like a person consuming it. You know what I mean? And it's not like." How would I say something like that? And you know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure you've been asked this a few times. Like, say if a customer, let's say a customer takes a supplement and then they have like an allergic breakout or something, right?
Yeah.
Like, how does something like that work?
Yeah. So normally, it depends, right? Like the quality. I think the number one question you have to ask yourself if you're looking to get into consumable product, whether that's a restaurant or nutraceuticals or whatever, is what is the source of my product? Mm-hmm. Am I serving a quality ingredient? And that's one of the things we're most proud of is the market. About 96% of the supplements you can go find right now are not produced in FDA regulated facilities, are not produced in the United States, and are not third party tested before they're being sold.
Yeah.
So Amazon and Walmart and really most online databases now have said, hey, here's an issue, right? First, that's everyone's first concern, and that's a valid concern. But with Rocktomic, that's not a concern at all because everything is produced in FDA regulated facilities. It's all third party tested for purity and potency, and it's all manufactured here in the United States. We don't import anything from third world countries or sweatshops or anything like that, like most of the products that are out there. So what that means is the quality and the potency and the blend and the mixture, it's a premium product. Most of our products additionally have the ability to be NSF certified, which is like the creme de la creme of third-party validation or verification. We do have some of our products that are NSF, and for a monthly fee, you can get access to all the NSF products as well. So, I mean, we work with, Major League Baseball players. We have basketball players that have their own lines. We have college sports teams we're integrating right now, where they're doing like player of the week bottles for certain weeks and how players do. And then they do rev share with the athletes and, all kinds of different things. But it's by going through and verifying that everything's quality that eliminates that concern. And obviously that's a concern of ours too, and was one of ours. Like we don't, if you're just trying to play a margin game, you can integrate crap all the time and sell, stuff off Alibaba. And a lot of people do drop shipping that way, and that works great. But if you want a quality nutraceutical that people are going to come back to buy again or put on subscription, you got to have quality. And so that's where we started.
That's interesting that you say that because I've personally dropped ship stuff from China and not consumable products, but like, I don't know, like fidget spinners and stuff like that. And some of this stuff you're like, damn, this quality sucks and I'm selling it. And you're like, cool, I'm selling it and I'm making a profit. But it's like, it sucks and you're selling it. And if it sucks, that means most likely this is not scalable, right?
Probably not scalable, but what happens, like, this more than anything, and this is like right in tune with your audience. What happens to that customer if you sell them a crap product? Are they going to buy from you next time?
No,
probably not. And so that was number one for us, is how do we make sure what we're selling is actually quality? And that's one of the best things we get is, the reviews on our products and how good they taste and how well they blend. And, like our protein, our vegan protein, a lot of people, dislike vegan because it's so gritty. Ours is like really smooth, blends all the way through. There's not like half residue at the top, half residue at the bottom. It's like even blend, and it's produced in the right way. And we use different manufacturing partners for different products, and we'll continue to use other manufacturing partners, and we'll continue to expand our own manufacturing until we're 100% in-house. But most of what we do is, third-party contract manufacturing that we white label and allow you to customize, put your own brand on it. And then we also have the regulatory process. So this is the other thing I think you were alluding to, was in terms of the claims that someone can put on a bottle. You can't be letting people say, hey, this cures cancer or, frees you from whatever disease. And so there is a regulatory process that the FDA regulates. But when you create a label and you're to get approved to put on a bottle, that has to go through that rigorous verification process to ensure that there's no breach of the FDA requirements. And if there are, we make them get changed. And if we find them on the websites, we make people change their claims, or we don't fulfill for them, So it's a little bit of a process, but most, we don't have really any issues with 8,000 connected stores. That's a minute issue because we're able to track it in real time. So
yeah. And if you guys are just joining us too, make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, please ask them. We'll get to them as we are kind of just going along, and then we'll save 10 minutes to the end for you to ask any questions. I know that with everything that Ben just said right there, there's probably 100 questions that we could probably ask him. So we want to make sure that we get the questions that we have or concerns that we may have, and something that you can personally learn yourself and maybe start a new business, a new supplement business for next year going into 2023.
Yeah, so I would say there's the other kind of kicker that we have is when you're looking at doing your own supplement line, there's really 3 phases that you would go through in order to successfully kind of scale your own brand. Number 1 would be private label drop shipping, which is how we try to integrate everybody to start. We go manufacture, 120 different products. We have over $3 million of inventory that's paid for in our warehouse here in Duluth, Georgia. And so those bottles are sitting there blank, no label on them. Someone visits your store, they buy the product. We would print out your label, apply it to the product, and then ship it to your customer. So that's drop shipping broken down. Mm-hmm. We go buy the product, print your label, apply it, and send it to your customer. Phase 2 would be maybe you're a doctor or a chiropractor or a veterinarian. You want to have pet products at your over the counter to sell. Mm-hmm. We do bulk. So if you want to buy bulk, most manufacturers will anywhere from 500 to 1,000 units you have to go buy. If you want to do 2 flavors of pre-workout, you got to go buy 1,000 units, 500 of each flavor. They'll send you the 1,000 units. You convert your garage into a storage facility or your basement, and you're shipping stuff out yourself. With us, it's in an air-conditioned, temp-controlled unit, so nothing's spoiling. It's first in, first out supply chain, so products aren't going bad on the shelves at all. But we do bulk as low as 24 units. Mm-hmm. That's another huge thing for us. If you set up your own brand and you want to have some for samples or for maybe there's a county fair and you're setting up a booth at the county fair, or you want to go to your local gym and sponsor anyone who gets a membership that day, they get a month supply of something as long as they sign up for a subscription. Yeah. Whatever, you can have that bulk purchases come in where those are shipped out already pre-labeled, ready to go. So that's done. And then phase 3 would be really custom formulation. So the products we are sourcing and manufacturing, you can't tweak the formula in those because it's already been produced. But let's say you have a blend, or maybe you're a ingredient nerd and something that's going to go into a product to make it that much better, right? Yeah. You want to have your own blend. We will do custom formulation for just 288 units. Mm-hmm. The price varies all over based off what you're trying to do, but we can do pet supplements. We've done CBD, tinctures. We've done CBD lollipops, bubble gum. We've done, all kinds of pre-workouts, recovery products, sleep products. What happens is as brands are growing and they're getting that feedback from their customers say, hey, I like the sleep, I don't love it, for example. Well, maybe he wants to tweak a formula that's way, stronger on the sleep side to just knock people out. You can do that as long as it meets the FDA guidelines and requirements. Yeah. And obviously we don't just produce whatever. We have a formulator who reviews all the formulas, goes through everything and says, you can't do this much of that. Here's what you can do. Here's kind of the approved limits. But we help with that from that R&D, through the whole process. The ability to really scale people through those three phases: PLDS, private label drop shipping, bulk, and then custom. So, yeah, there's just a lot that goes into it, right?
There is.
And that's the thing with a conversation like this is it's like, okay, well, how do you even start? Like, how would I take advantage of this? And that's really what Rocktomic is we've developed that system that holds your hand step by step through the whole way. Yeah. So as you're going through that onboarding, we help you come up with a logo. We help you create your first 5 labels, so you understand what that process looks like. We get your color scheme approved, so you know exactly what your brand's going to look like. You get your digital mock-ups to put on your website. We produce websites as well. So it's like a done for you thing, really, when it's without all the headaches. We've sold this package as high as $25,000 that you can get right now for $200.
Mm-hmm.
And so our game plan, after being in for the last, really scaling for the last 3 years to where we're at now, is it's about product movement for us,
Yeah.
right? Like we want to move more product, because the more people that are buying product, the more product, better price we get on product when we're manufacturing it. And that's where we make our margin, right? It's like we win as you win. And so we just have a fixed cost for every product that's there, flat fulfillment on every bottle, shipping. Different stores have different rules. Like if you order $100 worth of stuff, they'll pay the shipping. If not, the customer pays it. You can have insurance on your store so that, if USPS loses the package, you're not just blaming, the people can't blame you and your brand. Like RJ's supplement sucks because I didn't get my shipment. Well, you can have Route where they pay $1 for the insurance, and then if it gets lost or something, Route would cover the cost to get that sent right back out. And your integrity and everything's protected, and so is our relationship, because it's not us. Once we hand it over to a third party shipper, it's on them, not us. You know what I mean? So we have all these different things, from branding to marketing. A lot of people are like, hey, this is great, but I don't know how to market online. Well, we have a Facebook group that you can get access to. We have an entire store. If you want to share this screen, you can go to rocktomic.marketing, and you get a good idea here of some of the different just marketing features that we have available. But there's all kinds of sites and banners and headers and videos that we can do for people with their brand. Imagine if you had your own brand created, it would be that way. But if you can pull it up and share, it might be better to look at that way.
You said rocktomic.marketing?
Yes.
Let me see. I typed it in, it didn't pop up on my end because I'm probably typing in something wrong. I think I found it. One second. All right, I'm gonna share my screen real fast. Let me know if you guys can see it. Hello, welcome. Can you see
there it is. So as you can see, there's a lot of different things at the top. So WooCommerce website templates that you can just grab this and you plug in your stuff. So you're obviously converting your branded items for the holder placeholders here. Mm-hmm. We have Shopify stores. Eight Shopify templates. Mm-hmm. We got email templates. So these are like already pre-done, ready to go. You just pick it up and, replace, our branding team. If you purchase this, our branding team like swaps all this stuff out for you, so you have it all. Yeah, it's done. So, maybe you're not the super tech savvy, but you kind of want to have at least a website that looks good and, some assets that you can use to drive sales. That's the number one thing with entrepreneurship in e-commerce. Is the number one thing you have to focus on is marketing and sales, right? Yeah. Getting your brand known. It's brand recognition. Even you're a content, creator, you understand the value of content and having things out there. And that's what all this website's for, is to help people who may not have all the tools or resources to spend thousands and thousands of dollars. We have a plan, I think, on this. That's a monthly subscription plan that is launching next month or next week. But you'll get ungated access to all of these different tools. So that's really what we did. Is we took a look at, when you go to launch your own thing, like minimum you're going to spend $15,000 to $20,000 to do your own brand, mainly because of the product and all the upfront expense. Yeah. But with Rocktomic now, we've just changed that system, and it's $200 to get going. That includes your first 5 labels. If you need a website, you can add one for like $500. Mm-hmm. That's integrated by us into our fulfillment software. And people have gone live as fast as 17 days from the day they sign up to where they're connected and marketing their own products. So
that's really cool, because I think a lot of companies, as far as like providers, right? So you're a supplement provider, and a lot of companies are moving to where they're trying to help the entrepreneur as much as possible, or the person that's starting their first business, whatever you want to call that person. give them the knowledge and give them, the assets, the support and everything that they need to be successful. Because in return, it's a win-win situation, like you said. And I think that's very powerful, because a lot of people don't understand that. It's like when you go into something, right, and this is where a lot of people get frustrated, and then they get into like being like a mean, evil person because they can't do it. So they say, "Oh, it's your fault that I can't do it." But now you're over here, like, as a company, giving them everything that they need and helping them as best as possible, and kind of holding their hand through the whole process.
Yeah. Well, we've got some great case studies of different people who come on, with tons of experience that move tons of volume, and people that literally had zero e-commerce experience at all, but had a good following on Instagram, for example. They were doing all these third-party affiliate type promotions on supplements. And we're like, hey, why don't you just do your own brand?
Yeah.
And you can keep all the margin, not just like 20% that other company's sending you. And so that's the type of deal where you don't even have to have a massive, 4,000 or 5,000 people. You get a 10% conversion on a subscription plan for people, and rent's covered, car payments covered, and your life's just a little bit nicer. So everyone has different goals they're trying to do, and whether you're looking to make an extra $500 a month or $50,000 a month, we're here to help you either way, because as you move product, we make money, and that's what we're after. So we're just really focused now on how do we, initially, like, the cost was higher because when product wasn't moving as much, we were having to offset all the overhead costs with just membership.
Yeah.
Now it's like, hey, we don't need to do that at all. So let's just cover have the introductory cost, cover 5 logos, 1 logo, 5 labels, 5 digital mock-ups, the integration, all of the support from my team for any questions you have, the branding back and forth with the design team, like, get it perfect. And that's for $200 basically, and you're ready to go.
Yeah.
If you can do your own website, you plug it in. We'll still do the integration. If you have your own website, we'll just send us the credentials. We log in, get everything connected. But yeah, it's just been way, way simpler. Literally last 3 weeks, 15% of our active customers have come on in the last 3 weeks since we made that adjustment. And our website's converting like 5% on cold traffic, which is insane.
Yeah.
About 45% of people are taking upsells for the monthly recurring type things, like our NSF program or the Facebook marketing group. I think that's $30 a month to get access to that. NSF's $57. We have other label packages. Some people want to start with maybe 20 different products. So our $199 package includes 5. So there's an upsell for $197. You get another 15. So you can start with like 20 products instead of 5 for $400 instead of 5 for $200. So just little things like that, and I know you have an affiliate link that'll be in the comments or whatever below that people can click on and look at what it looks like. Our website's pretty simple. Rocktomic.com walks everyone through exactly what they're getting for the $200, but ultimately it's just take away all the guesswork and just follow the system step by step, and you're able to create your own custom branded supplement company and get it live and connected and making money.
All right. So question that I would have right here is I'm going to put it into right here across the room. So like if someone was starting off right now, like how would someone like start their own supplement company? And let's say, for example, they wanted to start selling. Do you integrate with any platforms? Let's say if they wanted to start selling on Amazon, right, and do an Amazon FBA. How would someone just start? Let's say they had an idea and they just okay, protein, yeah, it's all right. I want to do pre-workout. I want to start selling pre-workout on Amazon, and the whole process of them setting up a listing, all that stuff. How does that all work with you guys?
Yeah, so so the answer is yes. We do integrate with some of these other cross platforms like Amazon or Walmart. A lot of people have their own website, their own e-commerce store on WordPress or Shopify or WooCommerce. or BigCommerce. And those all integrate with our fulfillment software, which is the key.
Yeah.
Wherever you integrate, the order has to be able to come to us.
Okay.
So we can do the fulfillment. For Amazon, the order goes to Amazon, right? So with Amazon, what you're doing is really bulk. You're in phase 2. You're buying bulk from us. You're buying bulk from us, and that pallet gets shipped off to Amazon. And then as the orders come into Amazon, Amazon processes your order off of the fulfillment inventory that you've sent to them.
Yeah.
So the process to get set up for Amazon is create your logo, create your products. Once they're approved, they go through regulatory review. Your store is considered integrated once we either connect it or once you place the order for bulk to Amazon. Amazon has different requirements on, what are the ingredients? Was it third-party tested? Are you selling junk or not?
Yeah.
Right. And once you pass all that, another question you started with, which I'll get to in a second, was like the insurance and how that works. All of the manufacturing insurance. So if there is a contaminant, for example, in one of the products and someone takes it and they get sick and they sue your brand is covered by the manufacturer's insurance policy. God forbid that did happen. It's never happened to us, but if it did, the insurance policy from all of the manufacturing partners goes down to the end user.
Yeah.
And so you're excused from any liability because their manufacturing insurance is what covers that. As long as you're not selling an expired bottle or you didn't open it or change it. So,
obviously you're trying to sell a high quality product, and this is nothing to mess around with, right? You're not trying to sell a shitty product to a customer and like, hey, yeah, here you go, take it, and all of a sudden they get sick. And you're taking this very seriously. And I think just to kind of put that out there more, like you're trying to like make a high quality brand. We have a high quality product, and then obviously your brand be behind it.
Yeah, we are any name brand you could come up with right now. We are at the same level, if not above the same level, with manufacturing practices, GMP, good manufacturing practices, the insurance policy that rolls over. Like we put it another way. We have brands that sell their brand as a premium product, and we have brands that sell it as like a Walmart product. Same exact ingredient. Some people are selling it for $119. Some people are selling it for $34. What's the difference? Marketing, right? It's your choice. You guys get to choose what the price is on your product. If you want to create a brand that looks, more, I don't know.
It's that great value Walmart brand.
Yeah, if you want to have like a great value generic brand, which some people do. They want like their medical nutritional supplements, just be like, no, let's just go bottom of the barrel so that people are buying on price. They're buying from me. I want to be the bottom price and I want to just move volume. Other people are like, I could care less about that. I want to make money. I'm going to present it as like the premium. I'm going to talk about all the benefits. I'm going to have great content and videos, and I'm going to do some paid affiliate things to get, different Instagram people with huge following talking about taking my product, give them a share of it. Like there's lots of different ways to build your brand.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it all just comes down to, to get started, you got to get started, right? And so how you would do it traditionally is you'd have to call a manufacturer, get a quote, come up with 15 to 20 grand to pay them for the thousands of units you'd have to buy. With us, you don't have to do that. With us, we buy the product. You don't pay for any product until you've made a sale, ever. All you're paying for with Rocktomic is, hey, let's help you set up your brand and get you integrated so that we can do your fulfillment. Yeah. And then as you're making sales, you get paid from the customer first, and then we get paid later.
Okay. There's John had a quick question in here, and then we're going to keep going with everything about that we're covering in this with print on demand, supplement and starting your own business and stuff like that. Yeah. And just also too, by the way, guys, give the video a thumbs up. Any questions or anything like that, we will be answering them in this live. So John says, do you offer any payment solutions charging the client for us? We receive our payments through Payoneer or bank transfer. Good question.
Great question, John. And yes, we do. We have some preferred vendors that we've worked really well with that work great for startup businesses. Banking and e-commerce banking and payment processing can be very tricky, especially if you get into wanting to sell CBD, which we do allow. We have some CBD products as well, but if you're wanting to sell CBD online, there's some different restrictions with the merchants. But we have some chosen partners, preferred partners. But as long as the provider you're choosing works with whatever platform you're using, like if it's Shopify or if it's WordPress, as long as your payment provider has a solution that works with that site, it will work with our fulfillment software, because our fulfillment software works with those sites. Yeah. And so we have some chosen vendors that are preferred, and we've changed them over the years, sometimes based on the speed of integration or the approval rates. Everyone calls and says, hey, we can get everyone approved, and it's great, but it's not the case. But our current providers are really, really good. We have, I think, 3 or 4 different payment providers that you can get integrated with, and that's part of the online store process is get your website done, get all of your stuff loaded to it, get all your ad copy done, so everything's all your site copy in there, and then the last thing is the payment processor to get that approved and installed. So that way, when someone visits your store, they buy something, they make their payment, the money goes into your bank account, the order gets triggered over to Rocktomic. We print the order sheet, we print your label, we apply your label, we ship your product. We then bill you for the cost of the product, the fulfillment, and the shipping. And you pay that bill automatically once it's been sent and mailed out. And then an email goes to you and to your end customer with the tracking information. So it's pretty seamless, pretty integrated now. And we're in the process of building out our own kind of CRM, if you will, where all of our customers will be able to track all of the shipping and everything and see all types of analytics for how their brand is doing right within our own site. So that's coming shortly.
One of the things too is I wanted to touch on. It says we'll answer this one too as well. Good question. When say like the customer you sell a protein powder or a pre-workout or something like that, and then you go through the whole process. How long does it take for you guys to ship out that product? Because as print-on-demand sellers, we sell, it can be anything with print-on-demand, but like say for a T-shirt, for example, right? Sometimes some companies take like 1 week, some companies take 5 days, some companies take 2 weeks, some companies even take 3 weeks to get out a T-shirt printed and shipped to a customer. And I know that as a print-on-demand seller, that can be a little frustrating. So how long do you guys usually take to print the label or print the design on the product and ship it to the customer?
Great question. So number one, as long as the product is in stock and you have updated your website appropriately with our in-stock tracker. Mm-hmm. So we have a sheet that shows what products are in stock or not in stock. Of our 120 products, 2 are out of stock. They have been for about a week, but those are updated and it already has the new date when we're receiving the next batch. But as long as what you've sold is in stock, it's 48 hours or less from the business hours, I should say. So if we receive, let's say you have a sale that comes through to your site on Friday night, mm-hmm. we get to that on Monday. If it's Saturday or Sunday, we get to that on Monday. Yeah. If it's Monday, we get to that typically on Tuesday. Okay. Mondays are always our busiest day of the week because we have 3 days of sales to get through. Yeah. But by Tuesday, right now, we fulfilled all the orders from yesterday and up through today, up through 11 a.m. that got to us. We're shipped out by 3. Yeah. So it's very, very fast. So that's the other benefit of being in control of the process and not using third-party fulfillment for us, and that it's that we're the partner doing the fulfillment, the warehousing, the inventory tracking, everything. That when the order comes through, we're in full control of grabbing the bottle, applying it, and getting it shipped out properly. So it's really quick, which is good.
That's cool. That's I'm pretty sure a lot of people that are watching this right now, they're like, oh, that's exactly what I want to hear. And the next one is so as far as shipping, so you ship to Canada or do you ship worldwide?
Worldwide shipping. There's a few restrictions with nutraceuticals, like Paris. Paris or France doesn't let you ship in nutraceuticals. So we don't ship to France. We do ship to Mexico, all South America, North America, There's some CBD regulations where we can't ship into Canada. You can ship down to Mexico, but not into Canada. So different rules and regulations, and those are changing all the time too. So we update our shipping policy once a month, and that goes right on the catalog. And there's a link for the catalog. It's a live catalog of all the products that we offer. And I'll get that over to you so you can include that in the post show notes or a comment. I don't think we gave you a copy of that, but I think that'd be good for people to see the different products that we have. Health and beauty, men's health, women's health, general health, superfoods. We have like a reds and green formula, which is amazing. A lot of you guys may have heard of AG1. On good old Joe Rogan podcast, they sponsor Rogan's podcast. Our greens are better than theirs. They're freaking awesome. And a third of the cost. So there's some huge benefits to being in control of the whole process. So quick though, ultimately the answer. Products go out really quick and we do ship worldwide.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting too, because in the supplement world, how would if I'm looking for that, if that's the correct word, the prices range, right? They can go, what would be a good price to say for a pre-workout, okay, that you're selling? What can that range from? Because I know you said it a little bit earlier, but
yeah.
what would it be? Like, what would be a good price range for like a pre-workout? Because, like you said, Joe Rogan, you'll see some of his products, right? And they'll range to like $80, $90, $100, $120. What's that one? The Alpha Brain one. I was taking that for a bit. So it's a decent supplement. And I took it and I was just like, but $120. I'm pretty sure I can build my own stack personally if I go find out each and every individual ingredient. And I can probably save a little bit more money because there's certain things in this product that I probably don't want, right?
Yeah, we've had custom formulas where people literally say, hey, like Alpha Brain, I want Alpha Brain without this. Give me the price. Yeah. And we come in at, $16, $17, $18, $25 cost.
Yeah.
Most of our stores, like we have a MSRP report that we look at all the like SKU by SKU, all the different transactions throughout all time, and then what they're sold at. So we get an average price. So pre-workouts averaging $38 is what people are selling it for online, which means some are selling it for 30, some are selling it for 40, some are selling it for 47, some are selling it for 28, but on average it's $38.
Yeah. Okay.
And it varies that's another thing you'll get with the membership is based off the SKU, like what the average MSRP is currently for all of our clients, and that updates in real time. So if you're at $85 and you're not moving a product, maybe, but the MSRP for everybody else is at 47. Either you got to do a better job branding it as like a premium or bring your price down if you want to see some movement and competition there. So,
yeah. All right, here's another question inside of here. Hello, I'm interested in distributing Rocktomic in Mexico, but I have some doubts. What percentage of similar products have FDA approval?
So FDA does not approve any nutraceuticals at all. So that's why you always see like the whole, this has not been evaluated by the FDA. These statements have not been evaluated. That's one of the disclaimers that are on every single nutraceutical product for Rocktomic or anybody else. What the FDA does do is they certify facilities to produce supplements, meaning if you're a facility that's paid them $15,000 or $20,000 to have them come in and have a regulatory process that they follow, ensuring that there's good manufacturing practices along the way. You pay that fee, you get your inspection. They randomly show up, grab a single product and test it to verify it matches what was on your record for the third-party testing. That's what the FDA does, is they regulate, in terms of nutraceuticals, they regulate the claims that you can put on a bottle, and they regulate the manufacturing facilities in the U.S. They don't regulate anything for products that are imported from out of the country, which again, 93 or 94% of the products in like online in the market in the US are not FDA facility produced products, which is crazy if you think about it. It's actually just absolutely nuts. but it's just the cost of manufacturing. A lot of people that are selling these, especially the big name brands, if you go buy 1 million units of pre-workout, you're going to do that in China and have them ship a container over here full of them, whereas if you do it in the US, your manufacturing costs will be higher, but the quality is also higher. The rates are higher. They last longer. Maybe they're not sealed properly and they come over in a container with like a broken seal. And so they get some extra humidity or something. Like there's all kinds of things that can go wrong. So the FDA doesn't approve specific products. They approve the process and the facilities, and then they oversee the branding. So if it's really like if Roberto were to create a brand and selling something in Mexico, and on the thing it says it cures cancer, and somebody sends that to the FDA and says, hey, like Roberto's supplements say they cure cancer, does it? That's where he gets in trouble with the FDA. And that's why we have that regulatory process to verify that there's no claims that would get you in trouble, because that gets us in trouble. If you're losing sales or getting in trouble for claims, like we're not moving product, and that's not what we want. So the whole point of Rocktomic, the whole point of Rocktomic is to help you guys actually move the product and follow the proven steps that work.
And then he had one more, Roberto. Some good questions, man. Thank you for asking those. Those are really awesome questions. So I'm interested in knowing this because I want to use it as a different. I can't even say that word, dude. I know you. Yeah, there you go. I know what it says, but I can't say it. I know you use USPS, but in Mexico, how do you ship the product after it arrives to customs? So who gets the product? So after it goes through customs, and after it goes through customs, who takes the product after that?
So the end carrier will end up doing that. So in Mexico, we've been using UPS and trying to think, in Canada, we use UPS and USPS and one other. But yeah, it's the end user. So I don't know I don't know all the ins and outs of all the shipping pieces, worldwide. But basically it gets held in customs. Like if you ship anything to Canada, it goes through customs first. Once they clear it, it'll get delivered. Aaron's in the back. What'd you say, Aaron? Okay. You didn't hear me.
God damn it, Aaron. Come say hi.
But yeah, there is once it goes through customs, whoever we've paid to do the fulfillment, right? The carrier, the third party carrier, they process that all the way through from our door to the customer door. DHL is who we use in Mexico.
DHL, okay. All right, yeah. And then Holly right here. Holly, what's up? What's going on? Hi, you may have answered this already because I just got here 5 minutes ago, so welcome. And how fast are your customer service inquiries answered?
It's a great question. So we've developed a couple different things to really help and track that, because transparency for us as the owners of how fast your support questions get answered is important. So we use a ticket-based system. So once you create your brand, you're given a username and password to log in, and that's where you handle all of your onboarding, steps. There's a live question and answer, robust automated support thing in there where you can kind of find your own answer. We've had 8,000 brands connected now, so we've heard a lot of the same questions, as you can imagine. And we've learned when you come across those questions in your process, you're not usually asking prices on fulfillment when you're talking about your logo. And so when you're at the logo phase, we have kind of like, here's the questions that you should have about right now. And anyway, there's a full resource online where you can get questions answered yourself, or you can create a support ticket. Our average time on response for support ticket is less than 3 hours across the board. So it's not always instantaneous. We don't have a phone number you can call in. We're more of the online support style thing, but you create a ticket, and then based on the order we receive those tickets, we get back. But we've also, I would say, we've done a really good job now with our onboarding process, that it's much more clean. As long as you're reading and following along and not trying to skip ahead. Don't be the student that skips ahead. Follow the process and make sure you're consuming the information. And because we present it in a way where we may be telling you something on page 1 that is relative to page 4. But you won't know that until you read everything on page 2 and page 3 as well. And so follow the process, I think, was the number one thing. But if there's ever questions or issues, it's really quick. We get a lot of good reviews about how great our staff is. I get emails all the time about, your this lady in branding was so helpful, or Crystal over at the fulfillment center was amazing. You guys are rock stars, whatever. We get that type of feedback all the time. So
those are the ones that are getting the good Christmas presents this year, right?
right, that's right.
Okay. All right, guys. So also too, we're providing as much value as possible. I have my affiliate link right there. I shared it right there in the comments. So if you guys are getting any type of value, okay, check out the affiliate link right there. I get a little kickback from that. Also, it doesn't hurt to give this video a thumbs up. And if you have any questions, please ask. It's crazy because, like you said, there's a lot of companies. I mean, a lot of people that are actually, they're companies, right, that are working with you guys, and you had some success stories as far as like case studies where people are launching their first product and making their first sale. And I think you said something about 17 days or something like that, right? And
Yeah.
that's just, I'm pretty sure everyone's success is going to be different. You're like, there's no guarantee with that, right? Everyone's success is different. Let's say like someone like, let's say you had someone, have you had someone that you said someone 17 days. Let's say someone took like 4 months and all of a sudden they start to get traction and then they understand what they're doing and then their brand starts to grow. You have any success stories like that?
We do. And we've had lots of people. We had someone convert a couple weeks ago who first landed on Rocktomic's site over 3.5 years ago.
Oh,
They purchased a little over 4 months ago, but they started making sales like 2.5, 3 weeks ago.
Mhm.
And I think they moved 95 units in their first 3 weeks. At an average profit for them of about $27 a unit.
Mm-hmm.
So not crazy, but again, just everyone's goals are different. That's ultimately what this comes down to. And the reason to get into e-commerce is not always necessarily to replace your day job.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it is, and maybe that's what you're after. And if it is, obviously you can do that with e-commerce. For us, it's like, we want this to be whatever it is that you want it to be.
Yeah.
Because I can't help everyone or train everyone the same way, because not everyone's ambition, work ethic, goals, desires, financial capacity, ability to learn marketing, desire to go market or create connections with business.
Yeah.
All these different factors that ultimately weigh down on someone's success come down to each individual person. So what we really try to do a good job of understanding when we're doing that onboarding for all the new clients is kind of that welcome call to understand what their goals are and dreams are with this, why they're doing it. Because based on that plan, like people who are like, hey man, I'm just trying to make an extra $500 a month to help cover the cost of the new car or whatever. Cool. We'd love to help you guys do that.
That's
the question is, what would $2,000 a month do, RJ? Like, even look at your financial situation right now, an extra $2,000 consistently a month.
That takes care of the food, that takes care of the utilities, that takes care of car payment, that takes care of a few different things.
Yeah. That's all we're trying to do is like ultimately, if you can start stacking some wins and get people to see like with a little bit of work I can make $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
What about if you put a little more work in? What does $10,000 a month do?
Yep.
Right. I mean, one of my favorite stories is a guy who's now moving about $35,000-$40,000 a month for himself. And before that, he was a personal trainer at a gym, had an Instagram following, had a YouTube following, did some videos out there as an older guy out lifting weights, like crazy. And he's gone from making, $5,000-$6,000 a month to $35,000-$40,000 a month. And it's changed his life. He moved to Miami and he's done some stuff with some of the Sharks, like some different collaboration stuff with some of them now. Like, it's just crazy to see kind of how he's a prime example of like someone who was like, man, I'm selling all these other things. I just want to sell my own. And then, now he's moving ton of volume and his life's completely different because he wasn't afraid to like try it out.
Yeah. That's cool. I think, see, you made a good point because I've been talking about this a little bit where certain people have different like goals and certain people have different success, right? And you may not see it right away. And I think it's important that, that you understand that and don't compare your journey to someone else's journey because everyone's going to be different. Okay. You may just want to make $500 a month and there's nothing wrong with that. Shit. You may even just want to make 20 and you're cool. You're like, all right, cool. Yeah. I'm good.
Well, that's what we're most proud of, to be honest, RJ, is like, if you look at any other opportunity to go sell e-commerce right now. You're
Yeah.
talking 5 to 10 grand for a done for you course.
Mm-hmm.
Some dude who's going to send you a, templated email, templated website.
Yeah.
5 grand. It's out the box. It's like, here you go. And 80% of that's going into his pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not any care in the world on what you like. Once you purchase, so what?
Yeah.
If you go to a regular manufacturer in supplements and you go do a pre-workout, 2 flavors, you're talking 15, 20 grand. Once you spend that money, they don't care if you sell it to somebody else.
Yeah.
And the expiration is starting to tick because supplements go bad.
Yeah.
Right? They don't last forever. It's a food. It's a
yeah.
something you're consuming. So it's going to go down in value and overall. And so what we're proud of is that for $200 you can get quick access. It's guided. It's if you've never launched a business before, we even help you like set up your EIN.
Mm-hmm.
We help you like register with your Secretary of State.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have all those steps and processes. Here's the things you need to do because you'll need to have that done in order to get a merchant.
Yeah.
Right. You need to get set up with DUNS. Like all those different steps are all part of our process where most companies would just be like, oh, well, you should have known you had to do that. Or, well, we're not like doing a done for you business here.
Yeah.
Like, this is on you. Like ultimately our question we had to really answer was how do we make this as ungated as possible so that the most people that want to do anything, whether that's $500 a month or $35,000 a month or more, let's give them access to our products. We've had a ton of brands that are existing brands that are selling products that want to do to bring on other products. Like we have a doctor in Puerto Rico who was selling his own custom formula, bringing everything over, doing all the labeling, packaging, storing it, all the fulfillment himself. And we said, hey, send us that crap. We'll put it in our warehouse at no cost.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll add these other 15 items for you, branded the same way. And now you can sell bundles with your custom formula and some generic vitamins or turmeric gummies or reds and greens or whatever. And now he's able to sell a bundle for $109 a month instead of just his custom formula for $39. And he's not dealing with any of that. He cut out all the overhead of the people he was paying to fulfill, ship, all that stuff. And now he just pays us the flat fulfillment. It's $2 per item is what we charge for fulfillment. So if you sell an item that has 3 bottles of something like a 90-day supply or like a 30-day supply of 3 different products, it's a $6 fulfillment fee on that.
Yeah.
$2 for each one. So it's worked out really, really good. And ultimately, our goal is to, we really, really want to hit some big numbers with total revenue. We've done 2 million units. We're looking to get up to, 10 million units sold here by the end of 24. So that's what we're pushing for.
You also too, just like with newer products, like you said, turmeric, right? That's like a newer product that's hitting like the market, right? It's becoming more and more popular. Like now, everywhere I go, I'm like, damn, turmeric's everywhere. Like 3 years ago, like no one ever even heard about this stuff, right? Yeah. And now it's just like it's in Costco. It's in the GNC, stuff like that. Like how, in order, like, let's say like something like that, it's going to be like a trending product. Is there a way that you can get ahead of that by, is there like the way that you guys can come up with the formula?
Yeah. So we're obviously watching that and we want to bring in relative products that are starting to move. So we're watching what happens across the space. Mm-hmm. And as we see products climb into that top 50, if they're not in our catalog, we get them in the catalog. So that they're there. Like we're watching that all the time. So we added a few products just this last week, with this whole Liver King, guy thing breaking. Obviously he's on steroids, right?
Yeah, come on.
But he's been saying he hasn't been. But the reality is the supplements that he was selling are phenomenal supplements. Yeah. You take hearts and livers and these other things and break them down. There's a ton of value from health perspective in those nutritional supplements. And so some of the stuff he was selling, like I'm trying to remember the name of the word I'm looking for here, but I want to say
liver,
decimated liver or something.
Okay.
The liver and the heart, like those.
Yeah.
That's a product we just brought on. We just ordered a
Yeah.
thousand units of that, and that'll be in the warehouse next week. And then once it lands is when we open up the templates to get designed.
Mhm.
So if you're an existing brand and I send an email out and says, hey, we've added this product if you want it,
Okay.
create the label. The labels are $40 typically on average. If you don't have any remaining, pay $40, you get a label, and that can be added the same day. It's now in your site. It's integrated. We send you the mock-up for your website. It's done. So that stuff's really cool just to see how quick and how seamless our systems have gotten over the years too.
I see, as you know, like I pay attention to a lot of like as far as marketing, because just like I got into the role of like creating content, coming up with different ideas, coming up with different approaches to help people. And I see how the world, like these big brands like Costco and, just walking into the store and see how they market their things, their products, right? And it's very interesting to see how all that's done. And then like going back to what you said about the Liver King too, just that guy too, right? He's saying that he was, he wasn't taking anything. And I think it's just the fact that you can see his work ethic first and foremost, right? And that you don't get to that level without any work ethic. Okay, let's be very clear about that. But obviously, he's saying that he's not taking certain stuff, and he is. You can tell by looking at it. But his work ethic is awesome. But you can't lie to everyone like he's been doing, and that's where it all falls down.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing with this space is that most of our we work well with anybody who's entrepreneurial minded.
Yeah.
But if you're into fitness or influence, if you have a gym, if you're a chiropractor or a doctor or have any type of profession where you have over the counter ability to sell something, personal trainers, influencer of any kind, those are the people that's like instead of taking an affiliate comp on someone else's stuff.
Yeah.
Create your own brand that's relative to you, that gives you something else you can talk about, so you can create more content about you and have people buy from you. If you're able to sell someone else's product and you're able to do that, then sell your own.
Yeah.
And keep 100% of the margin.
Yep. And it's a good feeling too, because it's your own product and you're happy that, it does certain, it does what it says, right? And you can back it up because it's yours. And like any issues, you can fix the issue, right?
Yeah. And we tell everyone, start with our private label catalog. And if you want to graduate that to more custom products, then do that. You don't have to stick with our, generic version, but our versions are all very good. Like they'll compete with anything on the market. Anything you get off the shelf at GNC, you can get from us. Period. Like some of the formulas, like Bucked Up has a pre-workout. Everyone talks about Bucked Up pre-workout. Yeah. Our pre-workout some of ours are blowing that, in my opinion, blow it away. When I take my stuff compared to the Bucked Up stuff, I feel it way better. My lifts are better. My energy levels are better. So it just you can customize it however you want. But we're getting into, we have like different things called crowd share formulas. Let's say we want to add a product, but it's 10,000 units to get the price where we need it to be affordable for everybody, right? So I might go to some of my brands who are moving product or who have expressed interest in like a high level, Bucked Up quality, rendition of the product. And I can say, hey, we need to get, I'm going to buy 2,000. We need to sell 8,000 more. How many of those do you want for your brand? Yeah. Say, oh, I'll take 1,000. Okay, I'll take 500. I'll take 40. I'll take 200, whatever. And once we sell the full 10,000, then we go manufacture it. And now that's crowd shared. There's some in the pot for everybody to have on the shelves. And the people who wanted bulk, who were moving it, now have that premium product, there without having to come up with the full $10,000 unit cost to get it. And so we've done a lot of things like that just are a little more creative.
I think I may have you guys send me some pre-workout, man. I might need some over here.
Good stuff. You'll love it.
And one question too, because like right now too is something that's very popular right now in the supplement world. I'm seeing like different types of flavors coming back from like the 80s and the 90s. You're seeing a lot of that, and I think that's really cool. Well, because I'm 89. I was born in 1989. So when it comes to that, and when I see those flavors, I'm like, Bubblicious. whoa, what the heck? Let me try this, or just any like warhead type of
Yeah.
those type of candies. Growing up as a kid, I tried like a watermelon warhead. Like, whoa, this is good. This is crazy, but this is real sour. Do you offer those type of flavoring, anything like that, or
Flavorings, yes, right. But if you want that, like, if you want the Warhead
yeah,
logo on your bottle, is like,
yeah,
here's the flavor. We got approval. You have to get approval from that
from that,
brand to do
yeah,
a cross collab. So, like, if you'll see that with some of the major, like
yeah,
Bucked Up, we'll do that, or even energy drinks, right? You've seen like the Bangs that have like Welch's grape
yeah,
on the Bang, or Starburst flavored something, right? And I'll have the
mm-hmm.
Starburst icon on there. That
Stuff,
you
yep,
have to get some. That would take some effort on your part to get that approval done.
yeah,
But if you have that approval done, and the manufacturer will accept that, they'll be able to mix that for you, and then you can say, yeah, because all it is really is it's a flavor profile that like Starburst would send you,
mm-hmm.
and it's like this much and this much and this much to get the flavor. So depending on what you're putting in, here's the flavor profile.
Yep.
And now it tastes like there's some, there's different energy drinks I've had, for example, where you drink it and it tastes like you're biting into a peach,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like literally like peach flavored energy. Yeah. So, it's the same thing with supplements. It's just it's a flavor profile. And if you get permission, then yes, we can use those. Yeah. We have not done any of those. Typically they want like a hefty fee for using their thing. Unless you're like, hey, we'll give away a bag of Skittles with every order or something, right? Like we want the Skittle flavor, but we're going to include a bag of Skittles with every pre-workout or something. Okay. Maybe there's some cross reason they would be willing to do it, but
how about like just a generic flavor, like let's say like cherry or
yeah. So we have all that stuff. Like
okay.
Tropical Sunrise is one of our pre-workout flavors.
Nice.
Chocolate, vanilla,
okay.
or proteins.
Protein.
We have a cookies and cream. We have a salted caramel.
Nice.
Yeah, lots of different flavors.
Okay, that's cool. That's something I was like thinking about that earlier, and I forgot to ask you. I was like,
yeah,
I wonder if they do different.
Fruit Punch pre-workout. We have hibiscus tea, lemonade pre-workout.
Yeah,
all kinds of different flavors and stuff.
Okay, no, we're coming up on the hour right there. If no one has any questions, I'll give you like a couple seconds or a minute to ask any questions. We're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I'm going to have my affiliate link right in the description, and then I put it in the comments right there too as well. If you didn't see that, you want to go ahead and click on that, check out their website, and there's like a breakdown of everything that you have to do. It's not like I can see, like I've thought about starting a supplement company like way back in when I first started selling on Amazon, and I was like, oh dude, this is crazy. This is like there's no way I can do this. But now with this, it's like, it's amazing because it's like, okay, they're pretty much doing all the heavy lifting for you. You just have to, create your website and do it. Well, they can even do that for you too, but focus on the marketing. I think that's one of the most important things.
Really, step one is select what products you want to launch with. Mm-hmm. Step two is get your branding done. So you have those labels ready and the mock-ups ready for your website. Step three is integrate your website, whether you have us do that for you or you do it yourself. And step four is start making sales. And then we handle everything else. It's that simple.
Okay. No. Awesome. This is awesome. And I really appreciate you coming on here and sharing some knowledge with the people on the channel and helping them. Is there anything else that you want to add in, Ben?
No, I mean, just if you go to rocktomic.com, you can learn, everything else. There's tons of Q&A on there as well. You can set up one-on-one consults on there if you want to. You have some more specific questions, we're happy to talk to you. Ultimately for us, this is just about onboarding as many entrepreneurial minded people that want to move product so that we can help, send our products out to the world. So.
All right, Roberto, one last question. Which 5 products do you recommend as very end, or so which 5 products would you recommend that have a very high demand?
So what we've found is that it's interesting based off what products you would best support. Meaning if you're more of a fitness influencer type or gym rat that wants to like really push sports nutrition, I would have a different set of 5 for that. If you're like a vegan, all naturalist, that likes yoga, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like still working out, still doing exercise, but two different spectrums of the nutritional supplement space. So it really does depend on which niche you're looking to go with. If it was sports nutrition, which is our most popular, I would say whey protein, vegan protein, pre-workout, recovery. There's some recovery products that help your muscles recover, and some sleep formulas. You know, sleep, whether you're in weight loss mode or just general health, trying to improve your health, sleep is the number one thing that's like missed by most people. They're not getting enough sleep. And when you don't get enough sleep, you can't recover properly. Your muscles don't recover. You don't process food the same way. You're tired. You're hangry, as I get when I'm hungry or tired, really short-tempered and irritable. But sleep is a huge thing. So sleep is a big thing that we've, some of our products that has been one of the big movers is our sleep formula. It's just a generic sleep formula, but it works great. You wake up pretty rested. So.
Hey, I'll be honest, I took some sleep formula before where I wake up and I'm still tired. I'm like, dude, I can't shake this. And then I'll take my pre-workout and go work out. And I'm like, I'm still tired, dude. What the heck? the melatonin stuff.
Yes.
Right? That stuff. And I'm just like, oh, man. And I've always, with supplements my whole life since I was 16 when I started lifting weights, like, you know, pretty much Monday through Friday and getting into that routine of lifting weights. It's always been, you know, learning different supplements, different ingredients, and what we consume and put in our bodies and stuff like that. It's always been like an entertaining thing for me personally from day to day.
Yeah.
So.
Well, great. Yeah, we'd love to help any of you. And hopefully there's some value that you guys found here. And, you know, if you're looking to make money online, don't try to figure it out yourself. There's systems that are built to help you guys do it really, really easily. So.
Roberto said thanks. And also, guys, make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up. We're going to go ahead and call it right there. If you have any questions or anything like that, please, if you're watching the replay, go ahead and ask them. I'll get back to them as soon as possible. All right, guys.
Awesome.
Ben, you good? Okay. All right, guys.